Chris?
Well, Dave, most people probably know where to go to get out of the way of a tornado if they're at home. But what about if you're at work? One Illinois business made sure their employees did know where to go. It's a miraculous story of survival.
Holy smokes. That's unbelievable.
We're all going to die, and I felt in my heart we were. It was just that big.
July 13th, 2004 is a day Craig Jorstad and the employees of Parsons Manufacturing will never forget.
It actually come to the right of those homes over there.
After a warm and windy morning, the afternoon sky suddenly turned dark, catching Jorstad's attention as he glanced out his office window.
So I stepped outside because it seemed unusually dark. And when I got out there, I kind of looked at the sky. The clouds were rotating.
Within seconds, the tornado was on the ground and heading right for the plant. Jorstad and the 150 other workers scrambled for their shelters, and it was in these shelters that many of them expected to die when the tornado finally hit.
They were crying, they were hugging each other. There was a lot of people praying out loud, as one employee said, very loudly. But we all were prepared for the worst.
The tornado that hit here at Parsons Manufacturing reached F4 intensity. Those are very rare. Only 2% get that strong. However, they're responsible for 70% of all tornado-related deaths each year, a fact that makes what happened here at Parsons that much more miraculous. The damage was unimaginable, but so too is the reality that where there should have been a major loss of life, there was none. Every single person survived without injury, not even a scratch. Jorstad knows why.
A lot of people have asked, how did we live through this? How did no one get hurt? And the first thing I'll tell you is it had to be an act of God.
Perhaps, but it also has a lot to do with smart planning. When the plant was built back in the 1970s, the owner insisted on including tornado shelters.
This is shelter number 3. That's the shelter that took the direct hit.
As you can see from these pictures, the shelters were left intact while the structure around them simply crumbled. It's been 10 months since that terrifying July day, and Parsons Manufacturing is back in business, 25% bigger than before. Part of the new construction, new, even stronger storm shelters.
This is poured solid concrete walls reinforced with steel bars, 5/8 inch thick.
How
and
thick?
10 inches thick. In fact, to give you an idea just how thick it is, this is the standard phone book. And if you hold it up to the walls, it's exactly 10 inches thick.
So too is the ceiling, which is tied directly into the wall system with reinforcing steel bars. It's a fortress designed to withstand the worst tornadoes of all, an F5. When it comes to having a plan to protect employees, Jorstad has this advice.
I would tell them a shelter doesn't have to be just a shelter. This is a very useful office, so the expense of the shelter shouldn't be considered, and have a great shelter for your employees to go to and feel safe.
And how important is that?
It's very important. Saved 150 lives to have good shelters.
Now, their survival is only part of the story. The company, Parsons Manufacturing, actually kept all of their employees employed, paid them overtime, regular salary, and then sent them out into the community during the rebuilding process to keep